Hello, guys. Oh, Rob is there with his
My non-brand specific mozzarella dippers, and they're cold.
So jealous, even though
Very
they're
good.
still think they're great. Oh.
Tunk takes after me. I don't take Jack or Tunk.
Well, firstly, I say massive thanks to Gaz. I'm really glad that you've joined us again. And again, also massive thanks to Joel if you're still here. I'm really glad you're enjoying it. So Joel plays with Rob and Dan on our pirate adventure, which we run. Hang on, I'm just gonna close my window. That's better. That we run on Thursdays. Unfortunately, we're not streaming it at the moment, which is really sad. But I'm trying to get them to stream it so that we can show everybody how awful we are as pirates.
Oh, yeah, so awful.
I also want to say thank you to a couple of people, as we've had some new professors arrive today, and they were given to us by a couple of really nice, lovely people. So thank you to Claire Richardson for Professor Sir Adam Prize, who teaches stealth class. Also to Mr. Josh Ellison for Madame Faylar, and also to... Oh yeah, and also Mizet Arget, which Claire Richardson also offered us for archery. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. You're going to see more of them in the next hour. So if you like what you see, without obviously the technical issues, you can see Happy Jack's Funhouse with Mr. Don Cooper and the gang on Wednesdays at 7 to 10 right here on the Twitch channel and also on Facebook. Great misadventure. I think it's going to get a little scarier maybe. If you don't like creepy clowns, it's a scary one for creepy clowns. But yeah, very, very enjoyable and definitely worth a watch. So, shall we return?
Yeah.
Right, cool. So we're going to jump away from Sunday and go on to Monday. So you've had breakfasts and the bell rings for the first class. You make your way to the classroom and you take a sit down, and that usual sort of sound and humdrum sort of people chat, of kids chatting and sitting at their desk and all this kind of stuff goes on. It goes to 9:05 and everyone starts to go thinking to themselves, hang on, what's going on? And on the front desk you see a cage, small cage, like a bird cage, with a bell in it. And it's sort of this humdrum starts to kind of silence down a bit as the nervousness kind of kicks in. You're like, where's the professor?
I don't like this. I don't like this. I think there's something going on. I think this is bad. Why are they lying? Why are they lying to us? They're supposed to be looking after us.
And then you just
Maybe
hear,
the bell is the professor.
and then you just hear, "Don't be stupid, boy. Why would I be a bell?" And you look up, and there's a tabaxi in the corner, like this, and he jumps, does a somersault, lands on his feet, and is like, "Children, welcome to stealth class."
Whoa.
That was so cool.
And everyone's like, and you see this professor standing in front of you, Professor Adam Prize, a great tabaxi. So I'll show you guys, see if we can see it. Let's move over to the other side so we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he stands gallantly, he has got a small... Let me bring up his gear, his stuff. Yep, so he has these like gorgeous red eyes. His fur is sort of bright orange with black stripes across it. He has a very oval, very beautiful face, but you have this real smell of like tobacco kind of kick through. It's like the art of stealth. being able to jump from shadow to shadow, sneak your way, padfoot your way along, tiptoe your way along the noisiest of floors. Being able to, and he leans down to a table, pop your hand into a pocket and pinch a little piece of candy, and stands back up again. Now, some people say with stealth is the art of thieves. I think thievery is a perfect profession. And he takes a glass of whiskey.
And he's like concealed in his pocket.
Yeah, exactly. So does that. He like comes out of his hand and then puts it back in. As he pulls a pack of cards out of his hand, and his sleight of hand tricks as he's talking to you. As he spins the cards, clumps together, reshuffling, puts them back in his pocket again.
While he took a sip of his whiskey, by the way, Baggy leant to everyone and went, "I feel like this is what Justin wishes he would be like when he was older."
And he's like, exactly, yes. Part of being stealthy is understanding and being able to perceive those things around you. Looking for places to hide, looking for places that you can lurk and listen. So, if you're standing in a room like such as we are now, where can you hide?
Under the table?
Very good, dwarf. However, everyone can see you.
Not if I close my eyes.
And that's the unfortunate thing, is we cannot get everyone to close their eyes. Am I right? Of course I'm right. So, he walks over and places these cages onto your tables. I want you to get the bell from out of your cage without making a sound. Okay? Nice and simple. Nice and easy. Just like this. And he just literally walks over to the... while looking at you, just opens the cage, pops his hand in, pulls out the bell. Silent. Ding-a-ling-ling. Pops it down. You'll have... Every time you make a sound, you must start again. And you're looking, there's like a cage sitting on the front of your desk. You have 5 minutes. Go. And he turns a sand timer, and instantly you hear bollocks. As Justin sort of sat there, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well," and he goes, "So this is really oh, damn it." You see that Yudi, however, goes over to the cage, and he notices it's back to squeak, and he lifts it slightly and moves it, and it goes quiet. So you've got your cages in front of you. What would you like to do?
So is the cage? Is there like a cage door?
Okay, do you want to have a look at it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do an investigation. As you kind of like have a look at this desk, this cage, and see what could possibly make some noise.
Okay.
And Joe, sorry, do we have one each, or do we
You have one each. You have one
cool.
each. Everyone's
Right.
got one in front of them.
Okay, great.
19.
Ooh.
19.
Oshi on investigation.
Great. So you first thing you know, it's a metal cage, and you go, what does metal do? Metal rusts. So you think to yourself, the door is going to have a problem. The door is going to be squeaky. The next thing you notice is that the bell itself is hanging on a metal hook, which is going to make some sound. The door is smaller than they're not big enough for you just to pull the bell out straight. You're going to have to turn it. And then of course inside the bell there is a big metal ball that hangs. So you kind of identified these things that are possibly difficult, that could possibly make a noise. Right, so for you, Oshi, unless you tell anybody else,
Mhm.
the difficulty rating for this spell has dropped quite considerably. And I'll tell you, yours might be different compared to everybody else's because you've identified the problems.
Mhm.
Anybody else want to do anything?
Tunk leans across to Pups and whispers,
Doggy, can you take the bell out for me? Tunk's not allowed to make any sound.
I can try, Tunk.
Thank you, doggy.
And yeah, I'd like to look to see if there's a way of me like getting my hand underneath the bell to hold the clapper, or whether it's possible if I've got enough movement to lift it up to then get my little hands underneath and hold it so it doesn't make any sound.
Okay, so let's do an investigation.
Okay. Big love to Sam Dunstan joining us in the chat.
Big love, Sam.
15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
So, from looking at it without opening the door, because you haven't actually touched it yet, you think that your little hands will be able to kind of get in and hold onto that bottom of the bell, and maybe like pinch it, and you might be able to kind of get it off because your hands are so little. But none of you have opened the doors yet. You haven't touched it yet. And then you hear ding-a-ling bollocks.
I wonder if I was to put one hand over the hinge and then open it, whether that would muffle the sound the squeak would make.
Okay, so at the moment you don't know that squeak will happen. So you've identified that the ball in the middle of the bell will cause a sound. That's what you've identified.
Okay.
Okay. So Tunk, what would you like to do?
is Pups still trying to open my cage?
I don't know. I think Pups were looking at her own cage just then.
Okay, well, Tunk is going to let out a very loud yell, and then whilst he's yelling, open the cage and try and pull the bell out.
Okay, cool. So let's do a sleight of hand. And let's do it with advantage, please.
All right. That's a 15.
Cool. So you go, ah! And you open the door, and as soon as because you're so excited about screaming, you put your hand in and you knock the bell. And so Adam Price is like, oh, I really like that tactic. A little bit of distraction. However, you're not quite fast enough, I'm afraid, my dwarfish friend.
Oh, okay. Thank you, though.
So close the door. Try again.
Tunk walks up to the front room and closes the front door.
And then Adam Price watches you do it, and then goes back to the group and goes, so none of you decided to take the bell at that point. Shame on you. So Baggy, what would you like to do?
Well, Baggy hasn't realised that the door's going to make any kind of sound. So I think, first of all, she thinks that's probably the easiest way, because she can't get her hands through the bar, I assume. So yeah, she's going to just try and very, very, very quietly open the door to the cage, first of all. Would that be a stealth check?
It would be a sleight of hand.
Oh, sleight of hand, yeah. Great.
Actually, no, fuck it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We should be using stealth here. My apologies. So let's do a stealth check, please.
I'll do stealth. Ignore the sleight of hand. We'll do stealth, even though it wasn't too bad. Oh.
Sorry about that, Tunk.
That's a 9.
Bollocks.
So Baggy, realising that obviously that's not going to work, she closes the door and she looks at the metal and thinks, I wonder if I can just pull the bars open, see how malleable they are, and see if I can just get my hands straight in.
Okay, so let's do an investigation, and let's investigate it, because you asked the question there. I wonder if they're malleable enough.
Yeah.
Cool. So they're made of thin metal. You can see that the bars are extremely thin together. less than a centimetre.
Okay. I think Baggy. Yeah, I can pull that apart. He very, very gently places her big hands around two of the bars and attempts to just pull them apart. Shall I do strength?
Yes, let's do strength. Okay, I'm just confused. I'm trying to figure out why the sound is still a problem. Okay, 13. You try to pull them apart, but what happens is like you're just like bending them slightly. You're not quite going through. It's not quite working how you want it to work.
Okay.
But you've identified that the door will make noise, as you just said, so we can drop your AC down, your DC down. Great. Okay. The time's ticking, and you notice that the sand timer is kind of starting to go down. And you see UD. You see UD go. Ding 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 ding. And place it down. And he's like, oh, I did know that. I thought that the halfling would be good at this particular exercise. Come on, guys, we've got 2 minutes left.
Can someone open the door and then I'll get the bell out.
You've
Then
got
it'll
one
be your
each.
bell.
You've got one each.
Do we all have school bags and stationery and all the bits that kids are supposed to have?
Do you? Tell me.
I think correct me if I'm wrong though, but are these like desks like this and you can lift them up?
Mhm.
And then there'll be bits in there for us.
Yeah.
Oshi holds the cage in one hand and lifts it up really slowly, not making a noise, and then opens her desk and finds a rubber band and a pencil, really a sharp pencil. She puts the desk down and she's going to make like a catapult, and she's going to aim it for the sand timer.
Okay. So, let's do a stealth check to see, like, pulling this. It's a sleight of hand. This is a sleight of hand, I think, personally, of you picking it up. So, let's do.
16.
Great. So you pick it up silently for me, and then you pop it back down.
Okay.
And then you go to fire. So let's do a dexterity. I think it's the best way we can do it. So you fire on the dexterity roll, and we'll see what it comes out as.
Okay. 19.
Perfect.
Whoa,
So like ping, and it's like it hits the thing and it smashes to the floor, and he's like, "Well, little Oshi over there has changed the rules.
Oh yes.
Take
Oshi.
the environment and make it work for you. Change the rules of engagement. If you can make somebody come to you, and you are well hidden, you're able to win that particular game of life and death." So,
While he's
take your time, and you can thank Oshi later.
while he's been monologuing, can I have like tried to get the door open whilst he's not paying attention?
Yeah, try it. So your DC is 17 to get it out.
And what's the check?
It is a stealth. We're going to go with stealth, even though it should be sleight of hand. Everybody on home might know it should be sleight of hand, but we're going to go with stealth.
And do I get an advantage because he was like deep in his own monologue?
This guy is seriously perceptive, so no.
Ah, damn it. Okay.
This is a professional.
Oh, that's a 9.
And you go, "Ah." You shut the door again. Okay, so who's going to try it next?
Tunk has heard what the professor has said, and the destructive word that he used there has sparked a bit of an idea in Tunk's little brain. And so he picks up his cage and then hurls it through the window.
Oh my god.
Do you tell anybody, do you tell the guys you're going to do this?
Yeah, so before he does it, he just says, "Tunk's gonna be destructive."
Okay, cool. So you
And
pick
that's
it
all he
up,
says.
and I'm just going to let the other guys do their actions as they see you pick it up and go to throw it. So that they've now got... You guys are going to have an advantage on this moment because you're kind of working together. Tunk is making a distraction, changing the rules in his mind, and you have an opportunity to try and get into your cage and pull the bell out. So this will be at advantage. You've all got different DCs. So Oshi, your DC is 7 to get in and open it out. Pups 17, Baggy 17, and Tunk, you're not going to bother opening it. You're just throwing it out the window.
Tunk knows his strength.
Okay.
Now that I know my thing squeaks, can I try the whole handover job?
Yeah. This is why your numbers have dropped down a bit to 17 because you've seen that. Okay, so what do we get?
Oh, she got a nat 20.
Come on, Oshi.
Pop's got a 6.
Okay.
With advantage, though. That you...
Oh no, with advantage, got a
Advantage.
15.
I just
Great.
looked at it, got 17.
So as Tunk goes, change the rules. He throws it to the window and it like bounces off the window and falls to the ground. But in that moment, Oshi goes, and what does it look like, Oshi, when you open it? There can be no gore, by the way, because it is a cage.
Shit. No blood. She has like hairpins that hold her hood in place, and she's taken both of them out, stuck one down the hinges, so that as she opens it, they're dead tight to each other, and then she takes the top of the bell, lifts it up, and just shoves her hand in it like Pups is going to do, and pulls it out, and then holds it above her head and just stares UD straight in the eye and just rings it for like 15 seconds, staring him straight in the eyes.
Nice. Baggy, so you just about nail it, but you might have to make might have to do like a little cough or something in the middle just to cover the tracks a little bit.
I think so. I think Baggy takes off. She's got this like piece of cloth tied around her. I think it's her right arm, which was initially to cover up kind of like bruises and stuff from being pulled everywhere. And it's never been washed. So she takes it off. It's a bit greasy, a bit oily, and she tries to kind of very quickly wipe down the hinges. Opens the door. Coughs. Still a little bit of noise. And then uses the same cloth to just grab the actual like knocker, the ringer, and just pull it out. And then she holds it up. Like that.
Insane.
Ding, 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 ding.
Well done. You see, in the professional world, we call these things thieves' tools. Tools that you use around you in order to try and stay as quiet as you possibly can while working on a mechanism. Your classmates at the back have done very, very well. I mean, UD, I have to be honest, I did hear a small ding as you pulled it out. But Oshi, perfect retrieval of a belt. That is the first lesson of stealth. Quiet. Silence.
Tunk's not good at being quiet, teacher. Tunk's good at being loud.
Very much so. But you are useful. I had a good friend of mine, a great Goliath. He used to bang a drum so that I could sneak through. I always felt more confident when he did. Like he had given me some sort of inspiration to move forward. But his noise allowed me to take the glory of the kill. Thievery. Treasure. So, Oshi, could you read chapter 2 for me? Everybody else read chapter 1, and we'll come back together next Monday. and the bell rings. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that bell is rather loud. And then he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And you all look around and come back, and he's gone.
Oh,
Oh god.
So cool.
So thank you, Claire Richardson, for Sir Adam Prize. Big fan of Adam Prize.
I always loved cats, me.
I
Can I
goddamn
just
love.
ask, is Sir Adam Prize surprise?
Yes.
And that's why we say thank you to Claire Richardson.
Thank you very much.
That is
I
fantastic.
don't think there was one teacher suggestion out of all of the ones that came through that wasn't a glorious pun.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so so Oshi, you my thing was you need to beat the DC by 10 in order to get the proficiency in stealth. So Oshi is now proficient in stealth. But this is as a child. So just so you know, as a child, you are proficient in sneaking. Great, really, really cool. So we go to lunchtime. That lesson was actually really long. It was like 4 hours because he waffled on about all the times that he snuck into people's and he kept like replacing himself drawers, safes, pockets, secrets, and it's like it's very obvious that he might be a very dodgy guy. But he goes on, and you continue these kind of practices, but you've now got this idea of what sneaking and stealth is, and the idea of being able to hide somewhere, make distractions, and help each other out in order for somebody to hide effectively. So you go to lunch. What have we got for lunch today? What do you reckon, guys? What have we got for lunch? Tired of doing
Chicken.
porridge. Chicken. Okay.
Chicken, that's good lunch.
Yeah, it's a treat day because of the emotional weekend. So everyone goes up to get their lunch. So each time it comes up, the question is, leg or breast? Leg or breast? Leg or breast? So we'll go Pups, leg or breast?
Leg.
Tunk, leg or breast?
Both.
Baggi, leg or breast?
Leg.
Oshi, wing. And you're just given a wing.
This looks delicious, she says to the cook. Really good, tender, cooked all the way through, delicious.
Okay, let's have a look. So you're trying to like
Before we
not
go and
lying.
sit down for food,
Mhm.
can Tunk try something? Where he's seen that Oshi has been served the less desirable cut, and he comes over to Oshi and he goes, "Oshi, destruction!" And he goes over to the cook and just starts like shaking his hands in his face, going, "Rah! Roast Tunk!" Hoping that Oshi will try and steal a bit of chicken for herself.
Yeah, and if we've got our bowls, have we already got our knives and forks as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay, so Oshi sticks sees Tunk do this and then sticks a fork in the breast and tries to put it in the bowl really quickly.
Let's do a stealth check. Those at home, I know these are completely incorrect, but I don't care. It's for story.
So 4 for Oshi.
And you go clunk, and his hand goes over the top of it, and he just pulls your hand out, moves it over, and you got a piece of breast, and he pops it on your plate. And next go. I don't want no starving kids in my house. I don't want no starving kids in front of me wanting something to eat. But you bloody well asked me, all right?
And Oshi says, "Yes, thank you so much. Please may I have extra gravy then?"
And he looks at you and he goes, "Of course you can, my love."
Thank you.
And he pours out and they pour out the extra gravy. And then he looks over at Tunk. "You, I'm disappointed in you." And then the last words that come out of their mouth is, "I bloody hate working at this school."
Oh.
As you go down to eat and you sit down, suddenly this fanfare kicks in. Bum ba 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 bum 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 bum. And then these four people walk in wearing black. And they go straight to the front of the queue and they go, "Excuse me, we're mourning." And they get loads of this food. And then they go over to the top table and these kids move out of the way for them. And they sit down and they carry on eating. As you see the adventurers sitting at the top table.
Why?
We should have dressed in black, guys.
Why?
We would have got more food.
Yeah.
You got more food than us anyway, Tunk.
We could always have more food.
Do you want some gravy?
Oh, fuck you, Ashi. And Tunk takes out his now signature wooden spoon that he has and takes far too
Tunk
much
spoons
gravy.
available on Etsy. Only $9.99.
I'm gonna have to take up whittling now, aren't I? So Tunk takes far too much of the gravy than he is probably appropriate, but an offer's an offer.
And you kind of carry on eating your lunch. Is there anything else you want to do during lunch, or should we go on to the next class?
So Oshi,
Yeah.
how did you make the cage so quiet? How did
Well,
you do it?
I stuck one of my clips down the hinge so that it was so the metal was really married together. I don't really know the engineers of it, Pups. I just did it. Some people can just do stuff.
It was good. I was too distracted by Professor Surprise Tabaxi Catman. He was the coolest person in the world.
He's the coolest person ever, isn't he?
It was so cool. He even had the same voice as Justin, and I didn't care. He was like the coolest thing. I didn't want to punch him at all.
Doggy want to be a kitty.
Yeah.
Cool. Is Rob frozen?
I think he did. Literally, he was just about to say something. That's why I was
It's such an amazing freeze frame.
That is incredible.
I bet he's just monologuing now by himself and has no idea.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what's happening right now.
Well,
So,
Tunk stares off into the distance thinking about elephants. Baggy, having seen the kind of the ease in which the adventurers just came in wearing black and just went straight to the head of the line. Baggy says to them, maybe another way we could be stealthy is if we all wear black too. To places that we're not meant to be. Just a thought.
So we can wear disguises.
Yeah,
That's
like
a
when
good
me and
idea.
Pups pretended to have you guys as prisoners.
Yes.
Yes.
But you got any other clothes with them though?
No.
No, but I'm sure we could find some black material and like make cloaks around.
Yeah.
As the sunlight shines through the window, filling the whole room with so much light, and you realise that maybe now's not the time to be wearing black, but another time.
Oh yeah, not now, but maybe like at night, maybe like we can like find some like black sheets or something like that and like cover ourselves.
Yeah.
Addy's back. Hey, Rob.
Remember for later. Hey,
Sorry
Rob.
about that.
And he's back with us. Cool. So you had this kind of conversation about the idea that you're going to wear black at night time for sneaking around, to kind of take your new skills and try them out. And then the bell rings. Bing, 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 bing. And you need to go to your next class. And you make your way outside to a small shed in the grounds for your zoology nature and arcana class. So you say thank you, Josh Ellison. Very much appreciate this one. So you walk in and this whole place like it's just such a noise of different creatures like it's just like such a cacophony of noises. And you kind of go in and kind of like, what the fuck is going on? And you sit down and you see this lizard folk. You see this lizard folk sort of standing in the middle of the room. She's like, come in, take a seat. Don't mind the birdies. Careful of the dragon. He's only a pseudo. Come in, come in. Don't let that note. Don't touch that. Thank you, child. And you kind of come in, and there's no like desks. It's sort of like you're just sort of stood in a circle. It's like, and they stand there. They say, "Welcome to zoology. My name is Madame Fela, and we shall be looking at creatures, great and small, terrifying and cute. But more importantly, how do you see their weaknesses? How do you identify such creatures? In the main world, there are hundreds of types. Can somebody name me a type of creature, please?
Archie puts a hand up and says, a cobalt?
Not technically a type. But if you could say the kobold was a type, what would it be?
Maybe a dragon?
Very interesting. Dragons are a particular type in on themselves. Pseudo-dragons, wyrmlings, young, adult, through to ancient. The most majestic of creatures. But a kobold is like you and I. A humanoid. Personally, I find the word humanoid quite disgusting. The idea that because we walk on two legs, we are all humans. But I am a lizard folk. You are a Huanti pureblood, I believe.
Tunk is a dwarf.
You are a dwarf. Be
Thank
proud
you.
of it. But no, a dragon is a type. A humanoid is a type. A kobold is a creature itself. Anybody else like to name me a type of creature?
Me, please.
Yes, a half-orc.
Bugs, insects, and bugs. That's a type of creature, right?
That'd be called a beast.
Oh,
But yes,
okay.
a beast. So an insect is the same as a tiger. A beast. For those in my particular profession, we enjoy talking to such beasts. I give you one more. Anybody else?
Archie,
Oh, yes, yes, Goblin.
A fiend. Like a demon.
Yes. The darkest of creatures, the fiends. Those who reside in the nine hells. Those who come forth to make deals. Her eyes start to kind of glaze over. They're to trick us. Turn us into bondage. To make them do things for them. For a price. Yes, fiends, of course.
Yes, you
Everything
okay,
from
Madam
us.
Fela?
Everything from a small, tiny little creature through to Asmodeus himself. And then she looks at you and is like, don't do that, Goblin.
Okay.
Asmodeus is not one to be praised. He will confuse you and twist you. Make you believe of the things that you wished were not the things you wished. Confuse you to think that the things that you offered were not the deal in the first place. But yes, types of creatures. So, please turn around. And in front of you, will find a creature. These creatures will be with you for the rest of the week. I want you to look after them. I want you to learn from them, find out what they are, find out what their type is, what their weaknesses are, and return to me in a week. And we will find out what you have learned from these particular creatures. So as you turn around, there's a number of these like small creatures in little cages in front of you. So, Tunk, you see what looks like a hand in a box. Baggy, you see what looks like, until you identify them, I'm not going to show you any pictures. See what's the other one? Yes, you see what looks like a small, big-eared creature with wings.
Okay.
Sitting in front of you, and a kind of snouty face. Pups. Pups. Sorry, I got the other adventure in my head. Pups. You see what looks like some sort of strange mushroom in front of you. And Oshi, you see what looks like a rat with like tentacles coming out of its mouth.
Coming out of his mouth?
Yes, and his mouth and his nose. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so you guys can have a chance to kind of look at these creatures. So if you want to, you can do a nature check and sort of see if you can identify what you're dealing with. And the teacher turns around and is like, Madame Phalar is like, so have a look at your creatures. Look them dead in the eye sockets if they have them. And try to find out what they are. Books are available in front of you. If you need them, they're in your search rules. To see if you understand what they are. Cool. So let's start with Tunk. So we're going to do a nature check.
Okay.
This is going to be so good.
I've got -1 in nature. 11.
11. Okay. Actually, that's what I needed to do. So each day you're going to roll a nature check. The DC is 10, and that will give you a new piece of information about your creature. Okay.
That's so cool.
So, so what you have in front of you is what's known as a crawling claw.
Amazing.
That's all you get right now. There's a little bit of info underneath. Crawling claws are severed hands for murderers animated by dark magic. They can go on killing. Wizards and warlocks of dark bent use crawling claws as extra hands for their labours. And that's all that you know so far. But you know you have a crawling claw.
My days, that's
Thank you.
horrid.
Can Tunk shake the hand?
And it literally, as you try to put your hand in, it's like... and it's like its claws, so you're like...
He goes,
Okay, let's go to Baggy.
Great. So nature check, right?
Yes, please.
And I feel like she's very used to kind of identify. Oh no!
Oh,
I was going to say she's quite used to looking at stuff and then looking in a book to try and find out what it is, but not this time. She got no idea because it's not bugs.
Okay, what's it? What do you call it?
What do I call it? I call it oh gosh, I think I call it a pig fairy.
Okay, so you bend down and go pig fairy, and he goes.
I love it, Ollie.
Great, good.
So yeah, you won't find out what it is until you do it, probably. Okay, Pups.
Pups. Okay, come on. 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. So in front of you, you see what's called myclonoid sprout. And this little mushroom, this little blue and purple mushroom is sort of sat on your thing. Mycoloids are intelligent voluntary fungus that live in the Underdark. They seek enlightenment and deplore violence. So peacefully, mycoloids gladly provide their shelter and allow safe passage through their colonies. So you look down at it and it looks back at you.
I'm gonna like slowly bring like the back of my hand over to see if it'll like maybe run up it or like go up onto my shoulder or something like that. Just really gently.
Okay, let's have a quick look.
Like when you like offer an animal like your scent rather than like hand. It's like this. So come on.
Okay. So this is out of all of them. I think this is one of the bigger ones. And it just sort of looks at you.
I try to match it.
And then bounds
Match
its
its
top of
face.
its toadstool. You have a real sense that it's reading you. Like, and looking into your soul. Like, you're like, this thing knows shit about me.
Those my secrets. Just sort of like try to match what it's doing, like try to like mirror image it.
Yeah. Okay, and then Oshi.
3.
Yeah. So what do you call it?
Aractopus.
Yeah.
And she pokes it with a stick, and she's like, "This is stop. This is great." I'm sorry,
Right.
but she doesn't want to put it next to her bunk, to be honest.
So you poke it with a stick.
Oh shit!
She turns to you guys. Yeah. Let's have a look what to do. Yeah, let's do that. You poke it with a stick, and it just jumps towards the cage door. It's like, it's like this like things are spitting all over you, and it's like, oh, it seems as if you have upset the creature you have there. Takes a lot to upset that particular creature. They don't often attack.
She just finds like a cloth that was probably once covering some of the other cages and just puts it over it. She doesn't even want to look at it anymore.
So everyone kind of leaves with their creature, and you're going to have your creatures with you for the rest of the week.
Tunk is attempting to, as he leaves, to play stone parchment sword. But it's not doing anything.
Actually, let's do let's try and persuade it to play.
All right. Persuasion. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it sounds like this, and it goes.
And it keeps beating Tunk as well.
Yeah. It keeps speaking Tunk each time. So tomorrow you'll have advantage on your identifying for this particular creature, as you've kind of starting to make friends with it.
No.
I love this. This is great.
It's so cool, isn't it?
So the rest of the time, sort of, Madame Faylar talks about like how certain creatures are seen as being one way or another. Are often seen as being either evil or good. And she goes into a philosophical question about the ideas that what is evil, and can anyone be particularly evil? And Justin puts his hand up and goes, "Of course." And she's like, "Please explain yourself, elf." He said, "Well, There are creatures which are monstrous. There are creatures that are naturally violent. That's a weird call in there. They're naturally violent. They naturally cause problems. And they're naturally always in the wrong place. And Phelan looks at him and she turns and she says, I pity you, I really do. For am I not a lizard person, lizard folk? I would be seen by your kind as lesser, as evil. And yet I am here teaching you how to care for a small creature that is vulnerable. Personally, I think that you need to educate yourself more. And I'm glad that you are here so that I can teach you more. And Justin's like, stupid. And he grabs hold of his creature, which is like a small, almost looks like a chicken. And he storms out of the school. He's like, I'm going to go talk to the principal. And he walks out and leaves the class.
Don't forget your monster, Justin.
It's just this chicken sort of like walks past and walks out the door.
Hate it.
And then the mushroom looks at you like like you totally start to understand like, oh god, this thing is reading my thoughts.
How big is this mushroom in relation to me?
Okay, so the mushroom is tiny, I think.
Oh, I thought you said it was like big by comparison.
Oh no, it's about you. It's about your size. Small.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it's quite large. Oh. Yeah, it's quite a big creature for you.
So I'm gonna be kicking it around like this.
That is cute. And terrifying at the same time.
So yeah, so you kind of go through this class, and it's now like going through to the more of the evening, like the school ends. There you go. That's a better way of saying it. School ends. So guys, I'm having a little bit of problem with my video. I hope those at home are not having a problem with their video because it's jumping a little bit for me. So hopefully it will clear itself up and we'll be fine. So you come to the end of the day and you're lying in your bunk beds.
Creature on her belly. She's just staring at it, trying to work out what it is. And it's kind of annoyed that she wasn't able to know anything about it. She just doesn't really get it. And I think she tries to put one finger on its lovely little snap nose. Just like, hello. And
Okay,
trying to kind of give it a little tickle.
And it looks at you and like
she just pulls her finger out. Maybe tomorrow, and just gently sort of plops it on the floor next to her.
Okay, have you got your books out and stuff?
Yeah, well, her creature under Baggy, like obviously she's on the top bunk, so she's put it just under Baggy's bed, and she's reading chapter 2 of this. Professor Adam Price's book that you gave.
Oh,
this is actually really good, guys.
Does Surprise have a book? Like, is it his book?
What?
What's it called? What's it called?
Oh yeah, it's not actually even. Oh, it's called Surprise, living your life in the shadows.
Yeah. So the second part is all about not being heard, and it's like, I've always had opinions, Since I was a child, I was unable to talk. My father would slap me down. My mother would tell me to be quiet, which I liked. And he kind of goes on about this kind of personal anecdote of not being able to have a voice when you're little.
I kind of feel like this book is as much like instructive as it is like a romantic novel as well. His escapades across the world.
Semi-autobiographical.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you're reading about. Underneath you, Baggi, or you can hear it. From the rat-like creature that Oshi is looking after.
So
Trying to...
Baggy just kicks the bed above her, because you're on the top bunk, aren't you? She just kicks it really violently and goes, Oshi, come and get your creature, it's annoying me.
And Oshi sings, I can't hear you.
So then Baggy just throws the stuff out the way that's in her way, gets up and stands right up and peers Oshi in the face and is like, Oshi, it's your responsibility, it's not mine. You need to do something about it.
And Oshi just turns over the other way and keeps reading with her back to Baggy.
So Baggy just goes, ugh, and picks up the cage with the creature in it and goes and puts it like as far away from her as possible, basically, in the corner of the room. And as she does so, she puts it down and goes, sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on my learning, and goes back.
So, Tunk is practicing a secret handshake with his with his crawling crawl. But you do notice the smell of it is pretty putrid. It's smell of like rotten bodies.
Right. So as Tunk's practicing this secret handshake, he can't help but continue to look at the empty bed beside him of Domo, and just sees the broken, whittled tree still on the pillow. And I imagine by this stage, correct me if I'm wrong, the bed has been remade again.
Yeah.
And
So
it's like kind of pristine.
Yeah, and the figurine's gone, so completely empty space. Like,
so the little tree is gone, is it?
Yeah, it's literally just been erased.
Right. Yeah. So he's kind of half-heartedly doing this handshake with his new hand friend, and it's the smell of the kind of rotted flesh that kind of brings his attention back to the hand again, as he takes out his little spoon, whittles a bit of a kind of like a kind of twirling effect along its kind of handle, and then hands it to the hand to hold.
The hand's holding it like in between its fingers, and it walks up to you and like knocks you on the head with it.
And Tunk kind of giggles, and it kind of snaps him out of his contemplation and his kind of sadness, and then goes back to playing with the hand again.
Yeah. Pups, what are you doing with your mushroom?
I think when there was the big commotion over by the girls' beds as they were arguing with each other, I think Pups was trying to coerce the mushroom to sort of peer out at the same point as Pups out of the den, just both at the same time, either side, going. And see how long it takes to freak them out.
And then it kind of looks at you like the internal monologue of the sprout. It's like,
Please.
Okay.
Like, I left the ground for this. I used to be a professor. I used to teach people. Now I'm here, like, peering over a pretend fort with a smaller creature that looks like an idiot. Trying to scare other people that look like idiots.
I just look back at it and try and copy its face and try and like curl my ears round to make it more mushroom shape.
It's like,
And just sort of look at it and just go,
very concerned about the life above the Underdark. These folks seem to be stupid, almost mocking in their nature. I must remember to write a paper when I get back home.
I think mine's broken. I don't think it does anything. It just sort of looks at me strange. I think maybe it's like really stupid or something.
You can have mine.
Can I?
Yeah. Do you want to look after both?
No,
Look after both.
Oshi, that's your friend. You've put your friend in the corner.
That was Baggy.
Only because you made me.
I didn't make you. I didn't say anything to you.
Well, you just.
No, it's gross.
Oshi,
Yes.
friends help each other.
It's not my friend. I don't even know its name.
Have you asked its name?
No. Has it asked my name?
You
No.
put a sheet over its head.
I wanted to sleep, Tunk.
Okay, Oshi.
That's fine. Maybe Oshi won't do as well in zoology as she did in self class. And does a big old grin.
Oshi, what color was the sheet? Was it light or was it dark?
It's brown.
So you could use it. Could be your sneaky sheet.
Yeah. Have you got a sneaky sheep, Baggy?
No. But I don't need one. I'm gonna find one anyway, so it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, Pups, you're right.
So do you go over to the cage?
Yeah. Oshi goes over, and this sheet it probably was once black, but it's like pretty gross. And it's really thick wool, and there's loads of like mud in it and tree, like little bits of twigs and stuff, and she pulls it off the cage and then pulls it round.
Yeah,
Her
and then she's
shoulders.
standing nice and proud of this kind of darkness. And then she looks down at the cage and realizes that the bars have been pulled apart. And the creature is gone.
Oshi.
Your creature can turn invisible, Oshi.
Well, at least I have to look after it, and she's trying to style it out, but really she's shitting herself.
Oh, she lost her animal.
Oshi lost her animal.
And then she takes the sheet back off and puts it over again, and then lifts it up to see if it's magically reappeared, and it hasn't.
See, that's what I was trying to do in class. See, it should work.
As you all kind of lay down, you gonna go lay down for sleepsies, or are you gonna go do something else? You're gonna be naughty.
Let's be naughty.
I want to see where the men went. I want to see where the men went when they were carrying Domo. The ducks, yes, the ducks.
Yeah.
Did they leave the grounds, or did?
So Oshi, can you roll history for me?
Come Oshi.
15?
Cool. You remember them saying that they will bring in the body to the Cassalantiers, or Cassalanter. Sorry, I always have that extra bit. I don't know why. It feels posher or something.
It's next. She says to the group. She says, "Well, they were taken to the
Cassalanter. Yeah.
Where's that?
You know Oshi, exactly where that is. It's in the sea ward, so it would be like right on the other side of the city, right to the north past the castle. Like this is a city of like, I think it's 2 million people live in this city. I think it's ridiculous. And they live right at the top in the posh district. You guys are in the south.
So, Oshi says, I know where it is, but I don't know if we'd be able to get there tonight.
Why is it?
Or if we should have a go.
And the question
Why?
kicks into Pup's head of like, why does she know? The question, why?
Cassalanters are?
Because well, because they didn't they? They pretty much gave us directions as to where it was, and Oshi's suddenly thinking like maybe she shouldn't have said anything.
Are you a spy?
And no, and I need to go and find my animal now. So will you help me, Pups?
That's what a spy would say.
So, can you do
How
an
you know? Are you a
insight?
spy?
Do an insight check, please, Pups.
12.
She's definitely not telling the complete truth to you.
Okay, Oshi, let's go find your creature. 'Cause you're definitely not a spy who's really good at sneaking.
And Oshi, like, her scales like go a tinge of pink because she's actually really proud of herself, but she doesn't really want to tell anybody what happened.
Yeah, but your heart
house.
your heart is racing.
Mm.
The idea of sneaking around, looking for somebody else, brings back huge memories for you.
Mm.
And as you start to remember seeing that fiend, that you now know is a fiend, because you learned it today, and the sight of it in your home terrifies you. And the fact that you have to now go and search this horrible, scary place in the night time to do the same thing of look for a creature, it does terrify you.
She realizes actually she feels safer with everybody, and so she says, "Well, should we all go then, and maybe we can find clues on the way to explain about Domo."
Are we looking for your creature, Oshi, or are we looking for the Cassalanters?
For the creature, Tunk. We can't go to the. I don't know where the other place is.
And then Tunk says, "Okay, I suppose I could lend a hand." And then shits himself laughing at how funny he just thinks that he's been.
Yeah, and literally, he puts his hand up like this, and his other hand goes.
Yes.
Okay.
So Tunk jumps off his bed and readies himself to go searching.
So you are now on off to try and find some stuff. So, I'm guessing Oshi's leading the pack.
Yes, she is.
Okay, so let's do a perception. You guys go, knowing what your skills are, knowing what you kind of do, is you go over to the cage itself as the first scene of the crime in your mind, and you start having a look around. So, Oshi, let's do a perception check.
17.
You see a tiny little footprints in the dust that are going off into a wall, and you see that in the wall there's a tiny little hole.
Come on, it's here in this hole.
And you kind of go over, and it's a hole that's about 2 inches high.
And she turns to Tunk and says, "Do you think your hand can fit in the hole?"
I could try. And he tries to put his own hand in the hole.
Can you do a dex check for me, please? A dex saving throw.
Oh no.
That's a 9.
Cool. Tunk is stuck in a hole.
Yes.
Stuck. I mean, stuck.
Actually, it definitely fits in the hole. But I don't think I could get it out of the hole.
We need to go to the kitchen to get some butter.
Okay, well, Tunk can't come with you. Could you get me some bread as well?
We can try. You look out for the rat, octopus, tentacles thing, okay?
Okay.
And if anybody asks what you're doing, what do you say?
I've got my hand in a hole.
Spot on.
Tunk, did you when you went over to the hole to put your hand in the hole, did you take your hand creature with you, or is that away from you right now?
I think it's. I imagine, Joe. Do you reckon I've built up at least a familiarity with this hand? That it's. I imagine it's kind of like just crawls out from underneath my clothes and then kind of sits on my
Sits
shoulder
on
a
it,
little bit.
yeah, and starts spinning a coin on his fingers.
Yeah. God, who was the person that this hand was before it was a hand?
Well, so I feel like, okay, Tunk's gonna stay here. He's got his hand friend. Should the rest of us go to the kitchen? The three of us, yeah?
Baggy, you're really strong. Can you not just orc strength him out? If we help you.
Well, I'll give it a go. And so I think before they leave, Baggy kind of like puts her arm kind of underneath Tunk's free arm, like right under his armpit, to try and wiggle him free.
Okay, let's do a strength.
Can I grab Baggy's like waist and try and like pull her to
And
her,
help.
grab the back of her dress?
Yeah, so let's do it with
help.
advantage then, please.
And as Baggy does this, Oshi spits on Tunk's hand to try and get a little bit of like.
Cool. So 12. You pull him free, but you hear a crack, and Tunk suddenly screams out in pain. And his whole hand is like, it's like this.
Oh,
Baggy!
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
And the little hand, Tunk's friend, jumps across and hits Baggy, then jumps.
And Baggy's just so upset that she's hurt Tunk. She's not even bothered about being hit by the hand.
Should we go to the matron?
No.
No.
Tunk's hand is really hurt, guys.
Oshi goes over to the ladder that's made out of wood, and so each step is made out of wood, and she tries to break a bit off to try and make a splint for his fingers.
Okay, so let's do a medicine check for you to see if you think it's broken or not.
11?
Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, his hand is broken. It's pretty badly broken, actually.
Oh.
Tunk has begun to quietly sob on the floor as he's clutching his hands to his chest.
Okay, is it going to have to be matron?
I think I need to see the matron, guys.
It's okay. We'll take you to the matron, Tunk.
Don't
Okay.
put any hands in holes. It's dangerous, guys.
And Oshi says to Tunk, well, at least you have got a spare hand.
And through Tunk's tears, he kind of goes.
Yeah.
I feel like Baggy, being the one to sort of do this damage as well, kind of decides that she's going to carry him to the matron. So she kind of scoops him up.
Okay, let's do another strength check then.
Oh, please, come on. Come on.
Yeah! 20!
You know, like, have you ever seen those videos of like the advanced like carrying procedures? So you literally, Tunk's on the floor, you do a roly-poly and like roll over and then stand up, and you've got him on your shoulder and you run him to matron. Do the other guys follow with him as well?
It is a rare thing that Tunk has ever been carried before as well. So
Other than your mum.
Other than my mum. Even just, he's like a child at height right now, where he's seeing the world from a slightly higher perspective, and it's cripplingly painful. He is having the time of his life.
'Cause I had the time of my life.
That carries me, Dirty Dancing style.
Why not? It was a critical role. Why not?
Yeah,
Like, it was a crit. Yeah, absolutely. So it's literally you dance all the way back, and as you leave the room, the sprout goes, "I am so confused." So he put his hand in a hole, Why did he put his hand in the hole? It was very clear that he wasn't. But the other one said that he should do it. People above top do not live to look after each other. Side note, make sure you read that book by Volo. And then it goes to goes over to you guys coming outside matron's office, and you go over and you knock on the door. No answer.
I was at the door to see if she can hear anything from in there.
Do perception for me.
14.
Doesn't sound like anything's in there.
She's not here, as she says to everyone.
What do we do now?
Well, Baggy is still holding and carrying Tunk at this point, and she's pretty tired, I reckon. 'Cause he's
Nah,
not
she's
alive,
not.
is he?
No, she's not. No, this is
okay,
it's a
great.
critical role. You're like, you are like,
Oh,
yeah, cool.
That's true. She's having a great time. But she basically kicks the door and knocks it.
And it-
Try and get it open.
And it swings open, and the office is empty. The matron's not in there.
Well, while we're here, should we get a bandage? Tunk, do you want a bandage?
With the bandage make my hand fixed?
It'd help.
Oh, okay. Yes, please.
Okay, so who would like to do the bandage itself? So is that Pups or is that Baggy?
I
One
feel
of you?
like Baggy is feeling pretty guilty still, so I reckon
Okay,
she
so-
might be the one to do it.
All right, cool. So let's do a medicine check then, please.
Okay. Come on.
Great. As you start to kind of wrap his hand using the wooden splint that Oshi offered, and you kind of like actually you fix up his hand quite well, and you make a little splint for him to go around. There's also sling to go around his neck, and you and it sort of seems to fix. I mean, Tunk, you're still in a lot of pain, but your hand is now set in the right place. As Becky did a very good job of healing somebody just then.
Thank you, Baggy. I know it was an accident. Tunk's not mad at you.
It's just she's still just feeling really about it, and she goes, "I'm so sorry, Tunk. I hope this helps."
It's okay, Baggy. Friends help each other.
Yeah, they do.
Can I go on your shoulders?
And she says, "Cool, Shan."
Thank you, Baggy.
And as Tunk climbs on her shoulders, she turns to Pups and Oshi and says, "While we're here, can we see if there's anything for the pain, or just see what you can find?" Tunk, I'll keep watch. And then
We should see if we can find anything about Domo.
Let's rifle through everything.
Yeah, you're such a spy.
Okay, so let's do a perception check. Cool. You find a bunch of like roots and herbs, and you think that this is the right stuff for healing Tunk.
This Tunk.
Oh, okay. Food. Yeah.
And Tunk
Starts to chew it.
starts to chew it, and it seems fine.
It's a bit stringy. Tunk's eaten grass before, but this isn't as tasty as regular grass.
And like you feel like your hand goes a little bit numb, like the one that's wrapped up. It goes a bit numb.
And he like pats it to see if the hand has disappeared, because it's in a sling right now, so he can't actually see it, and he's now realised it's gone numb. So he opens it and he still sees the hand's there. Because I think it worked, guys. Tunk can't feel his hand. Well, Tunk can't feel his hand, but Tunk can't feel his hand.
But you can't find anything about Domo in here at all. Actually, there's no documents or anything like that. It's just a medicine place.
Any evidence of like porridge around? Because if they brought in a kid that's covered in porridge, there should probably still be some porridge around.
Interestingly enough, the bin is still full, and there is nothing in it that looks like porridge.
The what?
The bin is full, but there's no porridgey bits in it. Granted, this is still like 2 days afterwards, so...
I don't think it was porridge, guys. It's got to be something else. Maybe the same thing happened to your hamster puss tentacle face creature, Oshi. Maybe they captured them too.
Hopefully.
We still need to find that little creature, guys.
Guys. His tongue kind of hears this extra echo kicking in. Nobody else hears it.
He does it again. He goes, guys?
Guys. Oh, you should be worried. You should be worried.
Baggy, still with Tunk on her shoulders, looks up and goes, "Are you okay?"
Tunk feeling strange, guys.
It's feeling strange, guys. Feeling strange, guys. They hate you, guys. They hate you. They hate you.
What kind of strange, Tunk?
Did you say that you hate Tunk?
Yes.
No. I just said, what kind of strange?
No, friends are supposed to help each other. Why you hate Tunk?
Because they're not your friends. Not your friends.
And Tunk throws himself off Baggy's shoulders and then runs down the hallway crying. Like sprints down the hallway crying.
And as you're running, you can hear your dad's voice. It's like, so why are you crying? Crying, are you, weakling? Never going to be a good dwarf. No, stop. Playing with your clay. Stupid boy. As you run, and you're running, and like the corridors go, and it feels as if like you just run for days and days and days. As you come around a corner, and you see what you think is like loads. It's like the whole thing is blurred and twisting as you look around, and you see like all of these like adults or teachers around you, and they're all wearing black, and they're all going into a square in the wall, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, shut up, stupid boy. What is it? And you see them go into a room, into the darkness, and into a big circle together. And Domo is lying on a table, and you see them, and you're like, what you doing to Domo? And they're like, ah, and then you black out. And you open your eyes, and it's morning, and you're lying in a flower bed, crushing all of these flowers.
Tunk kind of tries to look at his surroundings to see where he's.
Let's do a perception.
That is a 15.
You're lying in Groundkeeper's Grack prize-winning flowers.
He tries to get out of the flower bed. Is his hand now hurting again?
Yeah, your hand's really hurting again.
And is it still in a sling, or is that sling broken?
It's still in the sling.
So he gets out of the flower bed, covered in mud and dirt, and he's trying to piece together the events of last night and he can remember seeing these dark hooded figures and Domo's body, and he remembers hearing that his friends hate him and they're not his friends. And what time of day is it now? Is it early morning, Joe?
It's like, yeah, early morning, like 4 in the morning.
Well, he wipes the mud and newly formed tears from his face. And does he also know that these are the prize-winning flowers?
I mean, you know where you are. You know that you're in Grak's flower bed.
Right. Okay. But to trudge back towards the school again. Quite quickly, I think, because he knows that whether they're prize-winning or not, he's upset the work of Grak, and so kind of fears the punishment. So he kind of trudges up the hill towards the school again.
Do you knock on the door, or do you just like try and find an open window?
I think he knocks on the door with his
And
head.
And this
kinda
chef,
hello.
this cook opens the door. Oh, what are you doing outside?
Tunk hurt his hand and then woke up outside.
Like, oh, my lover. There's another one comes over and it's like, you look like you hurt your hand.
Yeah,
Oh, little baby.
I put it in a hole.
You what? Like, they're really confused. Like, come with me. We'll take you to matron.
Thank you.
And he goes, so here you go. Have a little bit of this. And he hands you over like a brown stick. And he goes, it's called chocolate.
Chocolate. Thank you, chef.
And you go to pop it in your mouth, and it is the most delicious thing you've ever eaten in your life. All your trouble seems to disappear the moment that you think, oh my god, the sweetness, the dairiness, the darkness of the cocoa. It's the most satisfying thing you've ever eaten in your life.
Is the little hand creature still with me?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, he goes to look for it at least.
And it's not there.
And kind of has this conflict of delicious chocolate, but then the worry that something has happened to his little hand friend, and as Tunk thinks might be his only friend left.
So come on, let's take you down, matron.
Okay.
It takes you down, and Sister Bastine is there. She's like, oh, Tunk. Oh, you had a boo-boo?
Yeah, Tunk hurt his head, he put it in a hole, and then he woke up outside in the flowers.
He's like, okay. She takes the hand and she just like waves her hand forward and says a prayer. And your hand like, and it hurts quite a lot. And it's like fine again. She's like, Tunk, what did you see last night?
Tunk can't really remember. Tunk saw some people in hoods. Tunk saw Domo.
What else did you see, my child?
Tunk saw teachers walking into the walls.
And she places her hand on your head. What did you see, child?
Tunk saw nothing, miss.
And literally, it's just like all of that thought disappears. It's like, you're with your friends.
Yeah, Tunk was with his friend.
And you went to sleep.
Yeah, Tunk went to sleep.
And you enjoyed wonderful dreams about chocolate.
About chocolate.
Now, pop along.
Thank you, matron, pasty.
It skips away, and then it goes back to matron, and her face sort of drops. And she gets up a piece of paper, starts writing down, puts it into a tube, goes boom, and kind of kicks up, and we just see Professor Silvermore take the letter, open it up, and it just says, and she reads the letter, folds it, burns it away. So we're going to stop there.
Oh my god, so... Ah!
I stopped breathing.
I was trying to like through telepathy be like, Tunk, say you saw nothing. Say you saw nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're going to stop there. Thank you very much for playing, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
That's a
save-
great DMing, Joe.
Thank you for everyone who has been watching this evening. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you, Gary. Thank you, Joel, and thank you, Sam, of course, for coming over. Is there anybody else who was watching tonight that I say hello to?
Paul Krytoff came in. I think he said it now. I'm not sure.
Ah.
And Roberto, friend of mine, Roberto Della Pietra came in, and also on Twitch we got raided. We got raided by the Roll for Damage. They came in with 31 people, and quite a lot stuck around.
Well,
So
thank you so much, Roll for Damage. I really appreciate that, guys. If you do need to, their channel is fucking awesome, actually. So go and check that out. But I appreciate that. Thanks for the raid. We will not give you beer for your raid, but we appreciate it nonetheless. So thank you so much for that. So without further ado, we'll say good evening. And I would say, if you like what you see, please do come back and watch us on Wednesdays for Jack's Funhouse with Mr. John Cooper and the gang for another bit of a scary fright. Other than that, keep playing games, play role-playing games, and of course, stay safe. See you soon.